Hello! We have a special surprise for you tonight. Well, it was a surprise for somebody, but for you, a special tour. We went to a graduation party at the fair grounds. Okay, here we are at the Gage County Fairgrounds in Beatrice, Nebraska. This is what a fairgrounds in the Midwest looks like. They are mostly involved with agricultural, homemade, and personal things, which I'm sure a lot of county fairs in other states do as well. This building we're looking at here is the fairgrounds office and boardroom, and that's where the party will be for my grandniece. That building there is a concessions that a lot of the churches use and some other organizations to help with their particular cause. What you're seeing now is what is called the open class building. In there you find anything pretty much that is not 4-H related. And they're displayed and judged as open class. So there will be a quilt area, a photography area, all kinds of different things, canned foods, pies, cakes, you can name it, it'll be there. And now Joe is just starting to ask me, this building coming up is actually a church. It's a historical church that was moved onto the fairgrounds to preserve it. And I love this white fence here that they have placed. Now, here is the 4-H building, and I had trouble. I was in 4-H, and I had trouble remembering what the 4-H's stood for. It's been that long, but it stands for head, heart, health, and hands. And they are pledged to your God, community, and country. So that's what we were taught growing up in 4-H. And we were in a very agricultural 4-H club. You'll see these different, almost like quilt designs around. I had not seen those before because we haven't been to the county fair for quite a few years. What we're looking at now, that is a livestock either show floor or, okay, here we're coming up on more of the livestock stuff. On the left, you'll see when we turn, I think I turned the camera there. Well, what you're seeing now, that's the sheep and probably some of the hogs, but it's called the sheep, so I don't know, maybe sheep on one end and swine on the other. But there, I guess we didn't show the bedding. This coming up, that is for cattle. These are very open compared to what they used to be, which is good because it allows much more airflow. They used to be closed, and you can see there's the depiction of the cattle. And there are stalls, but there's also an area to move around the stalls. And coming up here quickly, okay, those are wash stations. Therefore, bathing our animals, scrubbing them down, getting all the dirt off, getting their hooves picked, brushing them, combing them, whatever needs to be done. These are the horse stalls. there can be some gorgeous horses in those fairs. Believe me, anything from just stock breed farm ponies to quarter horses, thoroughbreds. I've seen them all. And to me, every horse is beautiful. Okay, and here, give me a hint. Oh, okay. Those are the stands and bleachers that look down upon the Beatrice Speedway, which is a auto racing course that's been there for many years on a circuit that goes for, across all kinds of different states. Started out with stock car when I first met my husband. He was on a pit crew for his brother, and his brother raced for years, and then his sons raced, and now his grandson, I believe, races. One son, I believe, still does do some. And one of his sons, the one who's having the party tonight, is the manager of the racetrack. So we are looking toward, Joe, where are we? I think what we're looking toward here is, I think we're getting to where he's going to turn here pretty quick, and we'll be able to see the horse arena. Yeah, up in there. There, I'm trying to, you can see the rider, horse and rider there. That back there is a horse arena. And so that's where they can go show their horses, show their horsemanship. Here's some barrels and another arena. The only thing I can think of that is for barrels, for barrel racing. So they must have some sort of horsemanship that involves a few little rodeo tricks, which has got to be all kinds of fun. And now I'm going to quit narrating and just let you listen to Joe and I jabber in the car. Having fun. Oh, by the way, there's your sweet Joe. Oh,
hello.
Got his nose. I've got it.
Hello.
There's sweet Joe. He says hello.
Hello.
And what do you say when I tell you you're a sweet guy?
I know.
That's our Joe. He always does that. Always has. Give him a compliment. He says, I know. I couldn't stop on a better place than where Joe's being Joe. The reason we took you on that tour is because the county fair in this part of the country is not about the carnival and all the lights and all the rides and all that stuff that you can get at a theme park. That's fun for some who want to go there for that. What it's about is agriculture, things to do with agriculture, things to do with the home, and what we make with our hands, and things that there's photography, there's, like I said, all the livestock, there's so many things. I can't name them all. And with that open class that you saw there, there's anywhere from grandma's baked pies to the first graders entering their artwork. And the first graders are probably all going to get a little kind of a ribbon. But grandma's pie might just win. It's a county fair the way you would have seen one in an old movie, I guess. And they still have, I just don't know what they look like in the East or in, past the Rockies. I have no idea what they look like there. I just know here, because it's all I've ever been to. I've been to a couple of state fairs. They're pretty much the same, except at a much larger scale. So, and the thing that I like, that I saw today, because we hadn't actually been there for a while, those livestock buildings, those used to be closed up barns that were just huge, and the only real airflow came through a few windows and the big barn doors on each side. That was pretty much the airflow. And you didn't want to get too much because it would have, it'd get the dust going up from the floor, even if they did kind of wet it down every once in a while. All those open stalls and areas where they could work with the animals, that was so important, I felt, to see for myself and everybody else, because people with asthma and that, now they can go through there. I could with my COPD. I'd probably put a mask on, but you're not going to get so much of it. And since it takes place in July, it's hot. So that's just a godsend. I think that was probably one of the most wonderful changes I've seen up there. I mean, just think of it. Now, Beatrice Speedway is on a car racing circuit with all, through different states and speedways and racing tracks and stuff. Now, when my husband started helping out there, his brother, he was pitting for his brother who was driving stock car. Well, they haven't done stock car as far as just the main thing for quite some time. We haven't been there for quite a long time. My husband's, he developed a lot of hearing. His ears, he can hear fine, but his ears are so sensitive to certain sounds that they get, he had to wear earplugs if we'd go to a concert, because the pitches and stuff would get to him, especially if there was any feedback through a speaker or something. All that aside, I enjoyed going through there, and I did remember those 4 H's, didn't I? It took me a few minutes when I was up there to think of what they were. I could name them off here fast, but up there, no. It took me a while to think of them. It's been a long time, kids. So I hope you enjoyed it. And even if you never get to one, at least you know what the buildings look like. We'll see you Monday. Have a good weekend. We love you. Be sure to smile and wave. It's friendly.